Okay, I'm going to do a little review here on the Yaesu FTM-10R radio that I've been telling a lot of you guys about. The first thing I want to show you is how small the unit is. You can see here in my hand, it's quite small. It's heavy, seems pretty robust, all aluminum case. The only way for water and dirt to get in is probably through the speaker here or through the back controls, but I think that could be sealed up and done pretty well. Some of the neat features that this radio has is not only your memory channels here, but as you scroll through, here's your VHF right here, which is all your going to be more your race frequencies like KOH uses, you know, the 150s, but also your typical traditional 2-meter ham band, 144 to 148. You scroll up one, this is your UHF band, as well as where your FRS and GMRS bands are going to be in the 460 range. Above that, there's your FM. Here we got it dialed into local Reno 104.5, AM if you're wanting that route. Here's weather radio, and here's your line in. So you can see here I have a iPod Nano hooked up, and there's music. You can control the volume either through the Nano. This way I like to find kind of a happy medium volume, and then just use the Nano to control the volume up and down. It works well. The other thing is you can pick a frequency. Like here, this is your memory channels. This is the 0 memory channel, which is your club channel. You can monitor any frequency memorized or on the UHF, VHF band or whatnot, and then choose to listen to music and monitor the frequency at the same time. We're dialed into 462.6125, which is on a GMRS radio, little handheld like a lot of us have, the family style radios. We've been using, as you guys, some of you have seen, channel 3 with a DCS code of 33. So you can see when I key this in, this radio, the ham radio here will mute the music and go into it. So you can see that the green light here comes on, and as soon as you let off, it will revert back and listen to your music. Pretty neat feature. One of the only radios that I've seen yet to... Okay, the other neat feature that this thing has is it has a removable head unit here. You can see how small it is. I mean, it fits in the palm of my hand. And this unit here is completely waterproof, dustproof, all rubberized buttons. No way for much to get in there. It comes with this short little cord that plugs in, but it also, in the box, standard equipment is a 10-foot cord to put it anywhere you want. I'll show you some pictures here of how I mounted it in my rig. This unit is behind the dash, and the head unit is up on the cage, easily to get to. It comes with 2 profiles here to attach. Here's a straight one if you want to keep it on the unit, kind of make it look like a traditional radio mounted under your dash if you don't want to hide it. It also comes with, you can see, an angled one that you can put on. Remotely mounting the head unit here, you may want to opt for this little gadget. This is like a little $12, I think, accessory. And on the bottom of the head unit here, you can see these little screws. You take this off, and this mounts in there, kind of like this. And what it does is the normal standard feature is to your mic plugs into the back of the base unit. But if you want to remote mount the head unit, then I have found it handier to have this little deal, because then it allows you to plug your mic right into your head unit, and that's how you'll see the pictures how I did it. One thing I've opted to do with this radio is to use 2 external speakers here instead of the one single internal speaker on the main unit. partially because the way I mounted it is this: the main unit is behind the dash and the head unit here is up on the cage. But second of all, I've yet to find a radio with the internal speaker be loud enough to hear while driving in a buggy or a UTV or anything like that. So these came out, Yaesu came out with these for this radio. They're waterproof as well. They're pretty small. I'm just mounting them under the dash, and they seem to be as loud as I've found yet. The radio comes with a little splitter here that you can plug in, so you can plug a left and a right and have actually stereo output, so your iPod will work in stereo. And you can control some features in here. You can, if you only want to use one speaker or you have a speaker, you can plug it in. It uses the standard 3.5mm jack in the back, and through the radio you can choose whether mono or stereo to use one speaker or two. If you guys want to take this any further and get your ham license and whatnot, these are full-featured ham radios, so you can see here, if you look on the display, this let's see here, 147-210 is a common, it's a repeater up on P-Vine. When you hit the repeater, it uses a positive 600 kilohertz shift in it, and the radio does this all automatically. You can see the little T there that encodes a tone to activate the repeater. That's all necessary for ham repeating, and it does the DCS codes on the squelch like we use on these radios here as well. You can see here, if we go to like the 147.060, it's an interesting repeater. It's up on the top of P-Vine as well. A lot of times when you key it, it gives you a tone back and gives you the current temperature at that altitude. Let's see if it does it.
Welcome to the N7PLQ link repeater system. The temperature at 8,200 feet is 47 degrees Fahrenheit.
So there you go. You can see this repeater also requires a positive 600 kilohertz shift on the transmit, receives on the 147.060, and requires a squelch tone indicated there by the T, probably 100 hertz. Okay, lastly we'll talk about antennas here. I was recommended to use this little guy here. This is literally a $10 antenna. Very cheap, very easy to mount. It's small. You can see it's only 18 inches long. This is a typical 2-meter ham antenna that's quarter wave, and in 70 centimeter, which is your GMRS band, this will act as a a half wave, I think, antenna. Works very well. The mount system, this is called an NMO mount. This seems to work the best. You can buy these. I would recommend looking up and finding ones that is a thick mount. I'll put links to all this stuff in the notes. It works great. If you get the ones for the thick mount, you can just use a tab, weld it to your cage, put this right on. Works great. The neat thing with this kind of antenna is it doesn't require sheet metal for it to work correctly. A lot of antennas out there require a ground plane that requires like 2 or 3 square feet of sheet metal to get that. This doesn't have that, so buggies, UTVs, all that, this works great. This is a good antenna for if you want to be specifically in one band, like the KOH race frequencies. You tune this antenna here to a specific length, but it's only going to be good in that band of like 151. If you transmit out of that in like the GMRS band with this antenna, you take a risk of damaging the radio. So this was the best all-around antenna I have found. It works in all the frequencies. It's cheap. You roll over, it bends, you straighten it out. Worst case, you're out $10. So that's about it with antennas, and I'll put links to all this equipment here, the radio, the speakers, the antennas, the mounts, and all that in the notes.